that way. We're here tonight with the Inland Northwest Writers Guild to talk about search engine optimization and all things crazy when you're trying to get your stuff seen by other people. I've done a lot of research on it, and I pared it down to just some basics for tonight because this topic is probably one of the biggest ever topics that I've had to deal with in terms of how it works, the resources available to us, what's out there. So I will be showing the basic outline of this program tonight on screen, so I can just read it, and you can read it too. And so I hate to blot out all your pretty and smart and handsome faces, but that's what I'm going to do. And I'm getting better and better at sharing each time, so it's faster and it's smoother. It also almost makes sense. So this is what we're looking at. Search engine optimization. This document I can send to anyone who would like to receive it as a follow-up. So you don't really have to worry about taking too many notes unless you want to, because there's some websites noted in here and that. So first off, I gave some definitions. These are a couple of things. SEO is the one you're most apt to see all over the place, but there are a couple of others as well. SEM stands for Search Engine Marketing, which is actually what SEO is a part of. The whole idea is you're marketing whatever information you want to get out there, whether to give it free or to sell it or whatever. Marketing through a search engine. That's all it means. PPC is another term, stands for pay per click. Now that's where you arrange with the advertisers, whoever they are. Frequently it could be something like Google or that, but you make an arrangement to get your postings and your information towards the top of the list. And you actually pay for that. The pay per click is perhaps every time, if you're on a site, every time somebody clicks on your article or whether, and you end up paying that website or that whatever for that. But tonight, mostly we're talking about search engine optimization. And in simple terms, it means the process of improving your website to increase its visibility in Google, Microsoft Bing, and other search engines whenever people search for whatever. And I've left that blank because they're searching for what you're selling, what you're telling them about, your newsletter, your organization, whatever. Basically, there's three, but for our purposes, there's basically two types of SEO. One is called on-page SEO, which is on your website. In other words, search engines, when you have a name for your website, that's the most important one, and your URL. And they will search through the URL all over the net to come up with, to look for these important terms that are on there and phrases. The thing is, that's one of the things that causes people trouble. Now, I have some difficulty with the Guild's website because it is INWG dash hyphen guild.com. Well, unless people are looking for INWG guild.com, it's not going to come up because it's an odd name. But so you want to think in terms, if it's not too late, you want to try and make sure that your website URL gives something that's going to be draw people who are looking for certain kinds of content. But that's a big topic and it's something you can worry about later. Off-page SEO is other sites linking back to your website. Now, if you've gone out looking at people's websites or they've come to yours, there's always this kind of quid pro quo thing going on. Well, I'm linking to yours please link to mine. And there's a reason for that, because the search engines go tunneling through all this information and they pay attention to how many people are linked to your site. The more people you have linked to you, the more power you have, they think. So that affects that. It's not the only and not even necessarily the primary thing, but it is important. It's kind of like on the internet, you're just sort of invisible. But if your breadcrumbs are spread out all over the place and pop up here and there, then the search engines go, oh, well, this person's, they're all over the place. So that's important. There's a third one called technical SEO, and that has a lot to do with your URL structure, as I mentioned, navigating on your own site. Because if you have, now the Guild has probably 30 pages, you may only have 2 or 3, and the Guild actually gives me more opportunity to do an internal linking that would help, because I can go from a particular page and I can say, see this page. Well, I've just been referencing the index title, and instead of doing that, what I can do is literally put in an internal link. So that person will click on that, go right to that page I'm talking about. I've always tended to treat people as so they could do all the work and I just need to mention it and they can do it. But nowadays, there's this move toward do the work for them, put the flip and the link there. So all they have to do is click on it and go there, okay? There's a couple of one term is sort of negative, called keyword stuffing. And it's like Google has that written up in its spam policies. Some people will do an article or different pages on their website, and they will have this same sort of keyword stuffed everywhere, practically every sentence. And when they see that, they consider that spam. Instead of being what they consider good content, they think you're just stuffing the ballot box, okay? A backlink is a term for a link that's created to link between. We mentioned that already. There's a number of different names for them, but they're important because when people are moving around the internet and going via all sorts of search tools, those things are the things that have them jumping around. Like Steve, I don't know, do you do internal links on your site? Because you've got a good size one.
To move around within that site, you mean?
Yeah, like not just on the navigation bar, but do you ever use, say something in your article and say, for more information on this, see that page? And
Yeah.
do you actually
Yes.
put a link in there in the background?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because see, that's what the search engines look at too. Is there going to be, a good way to move around? Enough about the terminology. This thing is, like I say, it's huge. There's way more out there, and you're just going to have to do some of your own research to get there. Okay, I did find what I consider some particularly good SEO sites. These are different websites where they talk a lot about the process of search engine optimization, and I've got some of these on the screen here. One of them I've listed is got the whole article that I ran into, the ultimate guide to SEO for authors, but it is on ingramspark.com. So the short name for you to get started to get to the site is just ingramspark.com. That's a good site for people. There's one called amarketingexpert.com. I took a lot of my information out of an article there by Penny Sensivieri. She has her own Author Marketing Experts Inc. And of course, a lot of these articles now are written by people in an effort to reach people who want the information, to entice you to go to their site and check out the services they have to offer, some free, some paid. But also every time, like for instance, when I read this article, there was, I'm sure, information that went back to show that there was a link between where I was reading it at Ingram Spark and her website where she was. So you see, that's one way of making those connections. Another one was Matt-Jackson.com. He is, he mentioned, he has a lot of different pages, different articles. His site is beautiful in terms of information. He has tons of articles he's put up that you can read, all sorts of stuff. He does, all of these sites will ask if you want to follow them with a newsletter. But in his one article, he has an article about something called Link Explorer. Link Explorer is an app. It's free. Pardon? Oh, it's free with a caveat, okay? Free, you could go in and do 10 searches a month of websites, and it could be your own over and over at different times, or it could be yours and a competitor, or yours and somebody you're interested in. And you can do up to 10 a month free. He also has something else he offers, 50 of a month. I don't know what that is, but otherwise you can buy in and get more of these. I don't see why anybody, at least at my level, would need to do it very often. But that's Link Explorer. And I did go in and actually, let's see, he mentions that one of the places that is available, moz.com, moz.com. A lot of different kinds of SEO software, and it has the free Link Explorer. Now I'm going to stop this one and show you. I told you I was real good at this. It worked earlier. Sorry, I'll stop here and start over again because it's fighting me. There we go. Do that. Yay. Okay. I did go in and use it. Now, I tried it. I used it for the guild, and I got very little information because I'm going to just fess up. I've concentrated on simply sending out little bulletins to people and saying, hi there, I've updated this page, blah, blah. I haven't been doing SEO, and I intend to start doing that because we do get some contact from. But what I did was I used ANSI. Now, the thing to know about this program is you can go in at any time, and when you do those like that 10 searches, I looked at ours, I looked at fast, and then which was pretty good, and then I looked at ANSI, which is large, and you can just type in any URL and come up with the information. Yeah, it's not like it's secret or anything. Okay, now let me explain domain authority. Domain authority this is just a screenshot, so it's not going to give you detail, but basically it's saying this particular site has about a 50% rating. So in a search engine, there are likely 54% of, no, it wouldn't be 54% of the people out there. It would be all the websites that for various and sundry reasons have a better chance of getting included in the search. And they may be at a higher number. Some of them are like 100%. I think Amazon is set at 100. okay? It's just gonna come up if it's got anything about the thing at all. Antes is at 46. I shouldn't say percent, it's just a rating number. It says you've got this much uh, clout, okay, compared to others. There are, at the time, it was 951 linked domains. So there are domains out there, websites and things that have linked to Antes. There's 951 of them, okay? What that means is that from those domains, people have been on that domain. It could be posting a review, for instance. They're reading an article. They see something about Antes. Oh, and they click on that link, takes them to Antes. That is a linked domain. Okay. There have been 25. I think this is in a given time period too, so not sure, but 25. There's 25.9 thousand links out there that are inbound. There are people, website, whatever's out there that are coming in and linking to Antes. They're ranked in terms of the keywords that they're using, Antes is using on the internet. They have ranking keywords that show up in the top of the rank. 974 of their keywords have shown up. Well, okay, so that's the overview. Then I'm showing you just a little bit of what comes up in a report when you've done a search there. These are the pages, the top pages. Again, they say page authority. That just means how much clout they have in competition with all the other pages that are being ranked. And you can see antesbooks.com is in pretty good shape. It's got an authority of 44. Antesbooks.com is at 39. Antesbooks.com/event. Now that's a page specifically for events. That's got 33, a little bit less. Antesbooks. Now those are LinkedIn. Now let's see if somebody's on Antesbooks already. In other words, they go there, and from there they select something like the events page. That's not be a link. That's specifically just going to be them looking. That's why you get for the individual pages. These are not the first spots that people have gone typically in connection with the others. So the first place they tend to go is antesbooks.com, and then with or without the www web, and then they go to event and a couple of the book groups, and I haven't tracked down which ones they are. These are specific books. Oh, they're 2 specific books, and I bet you they're really, really top sellers, and that's why they're showing up as the best pages. Okay. Then there's something I think in your website, followed each external link, the anchor text. Somewhere in your website, there's something called anchor text. These quotes, Antes Bookstore, Eddie's Bookstore, no anchor text, antesbooks.com, antesbooks.com, okay, in quotes. I'm not sure I understand yet exactly what anchor text is, but these are the followed external links: 1,000, 1.8 thousand, 2,500, 83, and 274. Now, someday I'll know better what this all means, but these are top followed links to this site. Now, these are links to this site from these other pages. We post a lot of things on Pinterest, so it makes total sense to me that our highest page authority link would come from Pinterest. So Andrea puts a lot of pictures from the bookstore. Dental Floss is another one that has a lot of. Let's see. I don't know what the heck this Bitly whatever it is, it's 55. Somebody important anyway. Or maybe it's Oprah. I don't know. Podcasters.spotify.com has a big showing, and this other is an author. Okay. So that's just part of the information you can get. And over time, if you build your website, you clean it up, you increase its ability to be seen, and then I'll talk in a minute about this other thing, which is extremely important, is linking with other businesses. If you do that, you can track in a way. You can go in and see what changes have occurred. How's it gotten better for you? Here's one called Brafton.com, Brafton. There's one of the writing blogs. This is one of those composite businesses that has all these different writers writing for it, right? All these different people are usually professionals. They're involved in getting you to connect with them in some fashion. And you can sign up for a weekly newsletter. If you go just to the site, you're not going to see much. But if you sign up for the weekly newsletter, then you can get a list. It'll come out to you with a list of articles. You can go down and say, oh, and they have usually have to do with CEO or SEO or something like it. And I have a huge long document that I can also send you that I pulled from this. I subscribe to this one. I subscribe to everybody. And so just so I can share with you guys. And so I have this huge article that I pulled, and I used part of it. It's very deep SEO marketing. It's much deeper than what we're looking at here, the basics. And finally, I found one, searchengineland.com. Tons of information in the form of articles, again, different writers writing articles. Some information was taken from an extensive article by Danny Goodwin with the Search Engine Land at SMX. I've forgotten what SMX is. It's some other business. I'm going to stop for just a moment. I've got some tips to go through, but first, I want to see if anyone here has any comments about what we've covered so far and what maybe you've experienced yourself in doing this kind of stuff, or you could say to me, Linda, this is clear as mud. I don't have the first idea what you're talking about, or this is so boring, go to sleep, or, whatever. Are you picking up some ideas? Are you learning anything? Are we all just here to visit tonight?
I was searching online to see different sites and who had whatever. There's books you could pick up on it to learn how to do it yourself, or you can hire people to do it. There's all sorts of different ways of going about it. And I was thinking, well, there's one of them for beginners who want to learn about it, how to get started on it. I don't remember what the title was, something about beginners on search engine optimization. And some of them are for expert level, whatever. But I was reading into it, and they said, well, yeah, these people are professionals that do this. They start off on their own, but quite often grow up, and they can make a big bunch of money by doing it professionally, but that's quite often for companies, stuff like that. But you can do it for your books too. But there are professionals that will do all this stuff for you, but for a price, of course.
Yeah.
And they charge some money off of that. Because they make a good salary. It's some of the early, but it takes years to get up to that level.
Well, don't say that, please. I don't.
No, I mean for the super high level people. No, you could get on your own. They say within a few months you could get the books and you could get up on your own. You can learn on your own and do it. Just get some books and study it and do some stuff. But
that's what I'm using the internet sites for, because I go out there and read their articles. I'm telling you, they write some wonderful articles.
Yeah.
They give you all the details, step by step, and the whole bit. So that's what I pulled all this from, is people's writing. So
yeah.
let me go back to that thing now, I want to get into some examples, and some test things that I did. We're at tips. Stop that. We're at tips. And so here's my section on tips for you. First, I don't know, everybody thinks differently. We don't look at the world the same. Our interface with it is different mentally. So, but what works for me sometimes is to step back from this huge topic and try to see the overview, get an idea of what is it supposed to be doing, covering, searching for information throughout the internet is the big picture. And then you can make an outline for yourself to guide in your own effort, something like it may start with identify and use strong keywords and keyword phrases. Okay. And this may be when you're searching so that you can learn how to do it best, or it may be as you write. You may want to keep a list of your keywords. And as you go through time, if you are putting out a newsletter or a blog or anything, see what kinds of things come up quickly. You can even go out and do a Google search for your own stuff. I do that all the time with the guild. And that's how I learned what works and what doesn't work. Is if it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then one of the biggies is try to get other people to link to your website. It's one of the fastest ways to get your information seen, both by the people who are linking to you and anyone who comes to their site and then follows that link to see you. And also, when the search engines go rickety racking around through all this stuff to see who they want to display, who's most pertinent, that helps because they see that you're connected to people. And they can, the search engines, because it's so fast, it goes through all this stuff in seconds. You've seen that. And 2 billion whatever in 4 seconds. So, and that's what it's doing. It's going out there and looking through everything to see what's going on. Okay. Try to get as many, this is what we mentioned earlier with definition, off-page SEO links. From authors' pages, publisher site, magazines, etc. One of the things that I'm going to start doing is, for our site, is reviewing books, sending my review to the author at their website, and usually they're more than happy then to plunk your review in there and link to you. That's one of the fastest ways you can get a link back to your website, is to do something. Either write about them, say, I've discovered this website that I think is wonderful, or, hopefully you think it's, I wouldn't say you hate it and then try to link with them. But if you do say, it's something positive about it, and then send that article to them and say, I said this to my membership. What do you think? Is it okay that I said this? Blah, blah. You can review them. If you are pitching to high quality blogs and websites, these are sites probably doing great in Google. If you, for instance, if you are able to get, you're sending a review or an article or whatever to something like, well, I'll just say Oprah. It's not going to go far there, but at Oprah, theoretically, and you were to get your review posted there, they would likely do a link. This review came from Linda Bond at, INWG Jan. Now, see, and then that would be a link, and people would go, oh, who's this? Thinking, okay. I post, or I should say, Northwest Book Lovers is in out of the coast, Seattle area, and they like to post reviews of things by local authors in the Northwest, bookstore sellers, people like that. So each month they tend to pull one of my reviews I don't even send it to them. I think they pull it off of INWG or Edelweiss or something, and they post it there. And so I even have my own page there, which I discovered last year, that lists all my reviews that they posted there. And I could see about having them linked to the guild if I wanted to. I don't have it that way yet, but I may be. But that is why when an author asks if we could, asking this company now, who's doing work with things, an author asks if we can have the blogger link to their book on Amazon instead of their own website. I try to discourage that because the incoming link to your website has SEO benefits well beyond linking to Amazon. Now, Amazon is the go-to thing for many indie authors. They can't think of anything else. Like, oh, well, just tell people, you know, I have a page at Amazon, or go to Amazon and review my book and whatever. But they're missing out on all this other possibility out there with other websites and other people that can help them. Sprinkle, now on your website, the titles of your pages. Like I have one that says calendar of events. What to do, you know, it doesn't say much, but any of those pages are eligible to have keywords in those titles that would spark interest at Google, or it would cause people to want to. It would cause Google to want to list it so that people could go to it. They're called title tags or website titles. They're used by the search engines to choose good keywords. So choose good keywords for your titles. Sprinkle good keywords throughout your site, but don't overdo a particular phrase. Nestle your keyword in a variety of phrases. Certain phrases, if you use it all the time, like you said, this is historical fiction. And a sentence later, my historical fiction is this and this. Or down in the next sentence, you know, or sentence or two, it's like, if you like to read historical fiction, that. And see, not only is that sort of boring for the reader, but Google and they can look at that and think it's spam. It's like, oh, you're just doing that on purpose to get into Google search engine. So I'm not sure what they do about that, but they even address that in their spam guidelines on Google. One of the best ways you can be seen or heard, why they're always promoting, like Kalele says, books or newsletters for authors are important, because a newsletter, a blog, whatever you want to call it, is what you send out, and you can put various words in it to attract people's attention, to attract the search engines to your thing. Especially try to write something in that's current. One of the examples that I saw that somebody did was that if you're writing about medical and health issues, you know, covering COVID at one point, got you in there. You can cover now, right now, one of the things is menopause. And if, you know, if you're writing stuff about health, you can put menopause in the article, and that will be pulled in under, because one of the things that people will search for is menopause. And so it'll bring it up. Now, even if your whole article isn't about that, it still draws attention to your site, and people may go there just to check it out. Check out the article, they'll see your other stuff, maybe sign up for your newsletter. See what I mean? It's all kind of linked together. They found, the people that gave this tip found that about once a week is good, more often not good. The weekly should be short, could be anything from 200 words to, you know, 500 or 600 words. And once a month, either one of those or an additional one would be a longer blog. And I have to tell you that in doing all this research, I've learned so much. I'm going to start doing this stuff, because now I know, okay, because I'm going to try to draw attention to the Guild's website. I think that that's the best way to do it. Okay. YouTube is another one. If you can, which we always put our things up, one of the things I did not realize is that when I upload the videos, the description that I give for that video is very important. That's where I should be putting the keywords. I shouldn't just say author Herbert Weems was with us and talked about his sci-fi or talked about his romance or historical fiction, but I should try to get some keywords in there that will draw people to want to see that. And again, it'll link them back to our website. And the final bit that I've got here, trust me, I'm almost done, is your searches. One of the ways, again, we always say to authors, if you want to know about your genre and you want to tap into the zeitgeist and all that, read it. For goodness sake, read. And in this kind of thing, what you want to do is practice searches. Try some of your keywords that you think are good. Try using them and see what comes up. Then decide if they're successful or not. As I mentioned, I will tell you that and I'll show you here, I did some searches. Here's a variety. Before the meeting, I did Spokane writers, INWG. Those are three separate terms. I always use Spokane because I don't need them going out to Chicago and finding information from there. I want it for here in Spokane. So whether or not the people that you want to attract are going to search for Spokane, you still may come up, don't get me wrong, but that just narrows it in. It's better. It was highly successful. There were 3 sponsored items that came up first, then all the guilds is listed. The reason for that was largely because of INWG. Okay, that's why it pulled in the guild stuff. Then I did one Spokane authors, INWG. Surprise, surprise, the competition level was higher for the word authors than it was for writers. So what I got was a list that had only one sponsored item came up first. Let's see, so that was that one. Yeah, one sponsored item came up first, followed by the guild's listings for website and Facebook. So it was fairly good too. That's again, I had INWG in the listing, in the search. Spokane writer, those are the only 2 words I put in. I got a search that yielded one sponsored, then Amazon, then Wikipedia, and then SAS, of course, Spokane authors and self-publishers. Then the library came up. Then Northwest Book Lovers came up because they talked about it. Then 2 more library listings, then the guild. So all those things now were ahead of me because I didn't have INWG in it. The thing is most people searching the internet for Spokane writers, they're not going to put in INWG either. So it's a good idea to test what response you're going to get based on limiting the words you think everybody might use. When I switched it to Spokane authors, this is amazing to me. Not so good. It brought up over 40 images of local authors first. They don't call them writers, they call them authors. So instead of bringing up pictures like of Jeff Walker and Sharma and all those, like they did for this second one, writers doesn't bring up those images, but authors does. So there's something to learn right there, is that the word authors or author is paid more attention than writers. Okay? So that's something for me to know for future use. Anyway, came up with the images, then a wide variety of local articles from the Social Review, for all these different people talking about and authors. Organizations related to authors, SAS came up just below the images. Spokane authors, of course, it's the first 2 words in their name. Then INWG was number 47, just after Spokane fiction writers, and following the numerous postings from Auntie's bookstore, book club, etc. Local Authors Book Club with Linda was number 48 from an Auntie's post. So you could see by just trying some little bit different things, think about keywords for yourself, go in and do a search on Google for the different combinations of keywords and see what response you get. Because that will help guide you in designing your own keywords that you want to do for yourself. So that's the end of what I prepared for the actual rest of this. Again, a lot of information here. Happy to email it to you if you want. The secondary, I think I need to put my chat on. I've got 21 people or 21 notices here. Hi, Cherise. Hi, Cherise. Let's see here. One note here, but it's got to be more. Did anybody put a question or anything in there? Okay. Marilee, Marilee is with the, did she leave? You're there. She is with SAS, and as you know, or maybe noticed, SAS now has a secondary meeting on a Saturday, third Saturday, I think, isn't it, Marilee? And so, and I put her email in the newsletter with that. So if you have any questions about that, go to her because she knows what she's doing. Somebody's late. I'm Lee. I Shreeze. Okay, gotta be more. It said there were 21. Oh, I bet you up here. There we go. Okay, thank you. Go ahead and type in here anybody that would like it, because the recording automatically keeps this chat. And so I will know. Yeah, I'm telling you, these articles, I was just amazed at what they were willing, all these writers, what they were willing to share. I mean, for free. I mean, these are just huge, long articles full of all sorts of goody stuff, and they're not charging for that. They hope eventually maybe you'll need them, Let's see. Meat cleaver. Is that your new, is that your website now, Therese? I can't hear you because you're muted. She may not even still be here. There she is. Is that your website?
Hi there. Yeah, that one is mine. I've honestly had that one since I was like, oh God, 22 or something.
Oh, I thought you
I
were
used to blog fairly regularly, so I'm kind of dusting that back off.
Good for you. It's like I've seen a lot of people this month have sort of broken out the new ideas and seem to have a new energy to go after things. So go for it. Go for it. And I got Jerry's up on the thing. And let's see. I think I have Dan's on the website, but if not, I'll double check. And well, Kalela, she gets about 1,500 views a month. She's a whip smart. She is very pot. But you've been at it for quite a while, and you know about the whole marketing thing about how she puts on workshops, and she has an annual fair that goes on down in Palouse. And I mean, she really knows how to use her stuff there. Let's see, Author Beaker, right? I've got you on there, and Joan, I've got you. But it's nice that you're sharing this with everybody, so people can kind of see who's who and what's what. Steve, yeah. Let's get a roll call of who has webs. Oh, I see. Now, see, Kalela wanted your websites. So, and she probably doesn't want to have to go to the Guild's website to get them when they're all there. But I'm not trying to embarrass you, Kalela. I'm just, you're not the only one that doesn't go there, really. Let's see. And here, yes, I would like to receive that. Okay, all righty. No, I appreciate Kalela's been great. She's kind of been, filling me in for me on Facebook and posting a lot of stuff that I'm too lazy to post or don't have access to. So all the help I can get. Used to be, in all the years that I was working, I didn't want anybody to help me. I wanted to be the only one. I wanted, then it's me and nobody else and blah, blah. And let me tell you something, I've changed totally. Now it's like, you go ahead, just don't tick anybody off. As long as you don't tick people off, I'm hunky dory with it. Just do all the work for me. I don't care. So thank you. Let's see. Yeah, your website's not new. Oh, I think Kalila must be writing y'all. Let's see. When, oh, good. I don't know if I have yours, Joanna, on the website, so I'll go check. What I do is you give me a website, I go look at it, I look at to see if you have books there, I look for where the books are available, whatever I can, put up. Some people only have, and if you don't have a website, but you are on Amazon, I have a little thing at the end there that says these people don't have websites, but there's like 3 or 4 people on there now. And recently I had Jerry, he's gone. No, you're there, Jerry. I had him down there, but now he's got his website going, so he's up in the website area. I didn't do that to upset anybody or embarrass anybody. I did it because I wanted to make sure that you knew they existed and you could go look at their stuff on Amazon if you felt like it. So I'm glad they have people have websites. Okay, we're at about 5 after, which is not too bad considering we started quarter after a long debate. But any questions or more comments you'd all like to make sure if you want to talk that you're not muted. Robert, you making noise or just laughing?
Oh, I was just waiting for the train seals and dancing girls.
Oh, don't say things like that, Herbert. Tick, tick. I don't know, is that PC, Dancing Girls? I'd be watching for the Dancing Boys, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Linda? Linda,
Uh-huh.
this is Steve. I wanted to share one little success that I'm pretty pleased with. I'm in the final phases of writing a book that's a part memoir and part treatise on teaching and learning.
Yeah,
And
cool.
and the thing that I'm really excited about is I have 54 pre-orders already.
Wow.
Oh, good for you.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Steve. Yikes. I'm very pleased. Yes, I am. You deserve it. You work hard. Steve's another person who's been dedicated to the guild and helps all he can. And again, I appreciate all the help I can get. So now, remember, I know some of you or most of you are going to be busy for that April 27th, but if you have ideas or if you'd like to volunteer to do anything, I can always go down there, which I probably will end up doing. I may have a mask on, but to make my husband feel more secure. But otherwise, I would love to have a person or two who would like to help. Oh, great. Thank you, Sheree. I appreciate that. I'll get in touch. We got some time, of course. We've got maybe January, February, March, April. We got 3 months. So, but Eric started planning early because just like Koala knows, she's done a lot of big events. She knows you need to do it early if you want it to be. Me, I just trust. I trust the universe to pull it off for me. Pull my you-know-what out of the out of the hot water. Well, I appreciate y'all coming. If you didn't get your note in here and you think of it later, go ahead and email me anything you want a copy of the thing. But I will go through the list and send the stuff to those who, yeah. And Marilee, how is your third Saturday going? That will be this week, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. This week it's going to be run by our new president and vice president. Since I'm got a procedure the day before, it's going to knock me out over the weekend. But so far it's been really nice.
Cool, cool.
So it's up at 1104 West Heroy. It's the big social hall for St. Francis of Assisi Parish, and it's downstairs. For anybody who might have mobility issues, we have one of those little slider chairs. So, but yeah, it's a great place. It's nice and quiet. We get a lot done.
You do
And
some
we've had
writing there, don't you? Some writing, like actual
what's that?
writing. You do that, don't you?
Yeah, we'll throw out a prompt and let people take a few minutes to write something. Sometimes, if we have time, we'll share it. If not, this last time in December, it was just a read free for all, basically. Anybody who brought things to read, so we could all kind of catch up on each other's stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what they're doing this next weekend because I'm not going to be there.
Gotcha. Oh, Carol,
But I
yeah.
appreciate you putting that out there. Thank you.
Sure. Well, the one thing I can usually do is send out information. I'm good at that. I sit here in my chair and I send out stuff. Carol, she came from work. Carol had to work or something she had to do earlier, and she knew she was going to be late. Carol, I've covered everything, what I'm offering folks. If you want to type into the chat, your whatever, although I do have your email, but if you want the long articles that I drew from, I'm sending them out to a few people who wanted them. So go ahead and let me know.
Okay.
And let's see. And if I don't hear anything verbally or written from you, I'll write you and ask you if you really were a ghost and you weren't here. There she is. Yep. Well, I can hear you, I think, because you keep your boundary keeps going yellow around the box. So look. Well, I should probably let everybody toddle off for the evening. If you want to, feel free to just, if you want to leave, just sign out. I'm going to stop the recording and then I'll be here for a few minutes and you can talk to me if you want to. How's that? Okay? Bye.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank
you.
Thank you all for being here.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.